The beginning. What else might technology help doctors achieve? Joining me now in our central London studio is Tina Tan, the business editor of Clinica, a medical technologies journal. Thanks very much indeed for coming in. This is one extraordinary example. Are there any others of technology marching forward, as we heard our correspondent say there?
Definitely. Medical technology is advancing very, very quickly. And miniaturization is one way that the trend is moving towards. And in particular, there's a lot of things going on with the eyes, and especially in combining ophthalmic devices with things like diabetes monitoring. For example, in Canada, there is a company that is developing a glucose monitoring device that uses tear ducts to measure the blood glucose levels. It's based on the punctal plug, which is currently used to treat dry eyes. So perhaps we'll be seeing that very soon in the market.
Yeah, another extraordinary example there. You mentioned miniaturization. We're used to it, aren't we, with MP3 players or DVDs, but why is it so important in medicine?
Well, firstly, patients are becoming more and more demanding. They don't just want to be treated. They want to live a normal life, not be stared at, lugging around a cumbersome device. The ease of use, convenience. So, on one hand, you have patients' needs, and then on the other hand, it's not just the miniaturization of devices. There's also the increasing minimally invasiveness of procedures, such as like spinal surgery or stenting, for example. And it's also to keep healthcare costs down, because if it's done minimally invasively, hospitals wouldn't have to deal with patients taking a longer time to recover, and also there's fewer complications to treat. So that will help to free up the hospital beds a lot more quickly.
So miniature technology and less invasive care.
Yes.
What about this use of bionic or artificial implants? I mean, we all remember the bionic woman, and are we going to see limbs like that? How could that develop?
Well, I mean, we've been seeing artificial implants for quite a long time now. I mean, there's hip implants, knee implants. The way it's moving is that it's getting better in terms of the treatment. There are fewer problems with them than in previous years. Whether we'll be seeing like bionic men and women walking around with like extraordinary strength and abilities is another thing. But as the report said, medical technology is moving on very, very quickly, so who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the problem is it's expensive to develop, and it's often expensive for hospitals to buy and use, isn't it? Are they generally receptive to new technology, or is it quite a slow response sometimes?
Well, I've spoken to quite a lot of medical device manufacturers, and they say that hospitals, especially like in the UK where we're dependent on the National Health Service, hospitals tend to be restricted by budgets. And so they tend to be a bit more short-sighted when it comes to embracing innovations. But in the long run, as I mentioned, with minimally invasive treatments, they do help in the long run in terms of health economics, because they free up beds, patients are treated more quickly, they recover more quickly, so they do save money in the long run.
And what challenges do medical technology developers face themselves?
As you said, we have hospitals who aren't that quick on the uptake when it comes to innovations, and also they have to, not only do they have to come up with newfangled devices, they have to try and make them cheaply as well. So pricing pressures is definitely something to consider.
Well, it's an extraordinary area, certainly. Tina Tan, business editor of Clinica, World Medical Technology News. That's a long way as well, isn't it? Thanks very much indeed for your time. Thank you. A lot still ahead. As you can see, Hillary Clinton is in Pennsylvania. The crucial state primary is tomorrow. She is ahead.